Hey, welcome to World Entertainment. And yes, you can see the Jurassic World logo right there. And you're probably thinking, oh God, they're not making another one. Well, we know they're probably going to make another one. That they want them to be a new trilogy again. But you're seeing the headline. Jurassic World Dominion reportedly tops Star Wars The Force Awakens as the most expensive movie of all time. Yep. The actual budget for this movie has come out, and holy Jesus, is it insane. Now, it has a better excuse than The Force Awakens does, which was COVID and stuff actually stopped filming on this and actually delayed them stuff, where The Force Awakens, they just ballooned the budget because they're idiots. There is, though, a massive but. I'll have a look at this and then we'll jump into the but part. So, it says here, Disney and Lucasfilm's Star Wars The Force Awakens was widely believed to be the most expensive movie ever made, with the studio reportedly spending a whopping $638.9 million to bring the 2015 blockbuster to the screen. That's right, when they told us it cost us no more than $200 million. They were bullshitting. This figure encompasses the production budget alone. So, along with marketing and various other P&A costs. Now, keep in mind, one of the reasons when they start giving us low budgets and stuff is because they're only giving you what is they're going to get in California. So that's apparently how they're getting away with bullshitting everybody by going, budget's only $100 million. When it's like, no, because you're not bringing into factor everywhere else you're filming. So now, a new report claims that Universal Pictures' Jurassic World Dominion has topped The Force Awakens as the most expensive film of all time. Unlike the US, where only the production budget is generally disclosed and additional costs are hidden, which again is usually only through California for the most part, British law requires companies to submit detailed financial documents in order to receive government tax rebates. According to Fortune.com, Universal spent an astronomical $658.8 million on the 2022 Dino Disaster movie. It seems the budget was massively inflated due to several factors stemming from the coronavirus pandemic. So, unlike Star Wars, with this massive budget, they had COVID problems where production was getting halted and stuff. So, filming commenced at the height of the outbreak in 2020, and the production was required to comply with the standard safety protocols, testing requirements, and isolation rules. Significant delays followed, and the movie's release was ultimately pushed back by almost a full year. During these off months, the studio continued to fork out for sound stages, rented equipment, security, and key production staff who had to stay ready to return to work at a moment's notice. The main cast members were put up in luxury hotels during extended isolation periods in rooms said to cost more than $600 a night. So, it's saying one of the biggest single costs was paying the staff, which peaked at the average of I'm assuming that's dollars, $454 monthly employees, or is that the amount of employees? I'm not sure. That doesn't include freelancers, contractors, and temporary staff. They aren't listed on the book of British companies and blah blah blah. It just kind of goes on about that shit. Now, yes, as you can see, and this is also, keep in mind, this is also why Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, and Final Reckoning's cost ballooned to such extensive heights, is because they kept getting shut down thanks to COVID and delayed. And as you can see there, like, you still have to pay for your the studios, the staff, security, all that crap. You have to put the cast up to keep them close. All of that stuff. Here's where the book comes in. Inflation. or as Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers like to say on F&T, the inflation bros. Unfortunately, you have to look at inflation because $638.9 million from 2015. That today comes to an astronomical $891.1 million. Yeah, that is insane money when you think of what the movie was. Inflation for Jurassic World Dominion is also taken into account, seeing as that was in 2022, and is a shadow of that number coming in at a mere, well, I say a mere, but compared to The Force Awakens, $744.2 million. So, once you adjust for inflation, they're not even close. Force Awakens is still the top movie. Now, when you look at the numbers from the dates they were done, so the 2015 number compared to the 2022 number, yeah, Jurassic World wins out on that. Once you adjust it for inflation, nope. Star Wars still absolutely annihilates it with how much. Which means throughout all the years that will come and the inflation numbers continue to rise, Jurassic World Dominion will still be the absolute leader in that end of things. So, this also says, on the plus side, the studio benefits from generous tax incentives by shooting in Britain, and Dominion went on to gross over $1 billion at the box office. Did Dominion make over $1 billion? Surely, did it? Oh, okay. That's insane. I thought that came in under $1 billion. Dominion was the last one. That was a disaster. Did that come out? Good God. So, it says here, the amount theaters pay to studios is known in the trade as a rental fee and is widely established as being a 50-50 split. It's not, and this is the thing, it's not a 50-50 split. Because the US cinemas take they take roughly 45%. Sometimes a little higher, sometimes a little lower. But the international box office, cinemas I should say, take a significant amount more. So they don't get as much back from the international end of things. So that's why you have to, when you're looking at the numbers and it says, well, the movie cost this amount, it needs to actually bring in this amount just to break even. That is based on the fact that it's not a straightforward 50-50 split. It's more of a 45-55, if not higher, split between theaters and the production. So it says here anyway, which would give Universal $500 million from Dominion's box office haul for almost precisely the $1 billion. Again, that's them going on this idea that it's a perfect 50-50 split, which it's not. So after deducting Universal's $531 million net outlay, it yields a small loss on its theatrical run, but the share of ticket takings isn't the studio's only return from a movie. It also generates revenue from Blu-rays and streaming sales, as well as merchandise. Okay, but you still have to pay the company to produce the Blu-rays. Streaming, it depends what you're doing, but Peacock, that's Universal's, isn't it? So if they stream it on there, you're paying yourself to put it on there. So you're not actually earning from streaming sales unless you are giving it to the likes of Amazon or Apple or Netflix or whatnot, where they would pay you to rent it a bit. But if it's only on Peacock, which you own, then you've paid yourself, which is what Disney keep doing, to keep going, oh no, look, our movies made a budget. Once they we sold it to a streamer, so it made a budget, and then you realize it's only on Disney Plus, so you paid yourself. They paid themselves $160 million for Thor Ragnarok. It was either Ragnarok or Love and Thunder. I think it was Ragnarok though, but they paid themselves $160 million. So it's like idiots. Merchandise, yeah, Obviously, you still have to pay companies to make it, but depending on what the revenue comes in, like, you get the merchandise. So at any rate, Universal clearly wasn't left too out of pocket, as a new Jurassic World movie, the similarly panned Rebirth, arrived in theaters last year, and the sequel is already in early planning stages. Yeah, it was panned, but it somehow still bloody made money at the box office, or at least until we find out what the actual costs were. It's said to have made money. But overall, again, we're looking at these movies which, okay, COVID helped run the budget up on this, but at the same time, to go that high up, you had to be looking at going, were you even spending close to this money? Right? Why were you spending over 200 million, which you clearly were? It's like, what are you doing? Force Awakens, though, still overtakes it when you adjust for inflation, and will always overtake it with inflation. So, no, Jurassic World Dominion is not the most expensive movie ever made. That is still leaned into The Force Awakens. But what do you guys think about these costs that these studios have been running up when they're making these movies? Remove COVID from the factor and the delays and stuff. Just the idea that right now they're constantly spending over 200 million to make a movie. It's ridiculous. Let me know what you think about all of it. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like, share, subscribe, hit that hype button, check out memberships, all that good stuff. Cheers. I'll catch you in the next one.